Today I'm going to show you how to make a clay head. What you need first are some bamboo sticks. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut them about your arm length. So we'll just get a pair of scissors and we'll cut that just about here. So if you get 4 of them cut to the same size, then what we're going to do is we're going to make this dowel. So a dowel is what this is going to be called, and a dowel is a structure used to hold up something. So for this, it's going to be holding up our clay head. So what we're going to do to make it a little bit stronger, because it's carrying quite a weight of clay, is we're going to masking tape, and this is 1 centimeter or 1 inch mask tape. We're going to just masking tape these together. So you don't need to masking tape the whole thing, just do 3 masking tapes, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom and 1 in the middle, just to give it some strength. So to make the top of our clay head, what we're going to do is get some recycled newspaper and the masking tape again. And what we're going to do is scrunch up the newspaper like this. So scrunch up the newspaper and we place it on top of our dowel like this. And then we get our masking tape and we're masking taping this down. So the reason we use newspaper is that the clay we're using is air drying clay, but it'd be too thick if we just put the clay on top of it. It's not enough structure and it's too thick for the clay to dry evenly. We'll make sure this is tight but not too tight. So you're making it in kind of the shape of a head. So once we have that done, then we can get our clay. So only need about a handful of clay really. And we're going to put it on in small chunks. So what we do is take the clay out and in our hands, just make it into a flatter shape, like this. So then you can place it on top and smooth it down. So we're smoothing it down onto the newspaper. You can always add more clay and take clay away as well if you feel like there's too much in a certain area. So I'm just smoothing this all down into itself and then just getting some more clay and pressing that on with my thumbs like this. So if you notice that your clay is getting a little bit dry, that's because it's air drying clay and it's out exposed to the air and our hands are really warm. So it takes away some of the moisture out of the clay. Put moisture back into the clay, or if you notice any cracks, just get a little small drop of water, put it in your finger and then just massage it into any cracks that you see, and this will help smooth it out. So once you're finished with this, you'll have something that looks like this. So now we're going to add in extra facial features. So if you see on my face from the side, I have extra, you can see where my skin juts out just here and on my nose and on my chin. So what we're going to do is add more clay to our little head here to make those features more pronounced and make it look more human-like. So I'm going to put his chin here. So we just get some of the clay like this. We place it just here like this. So when the clay is nice and wet like this, it's easy just to smooth it onto itself. So there you can see I've built up more of a chin shape here. And just smooth that out now, make it nice and smooth. For the nose, what we're going to do is make a triangle shape. So kind of a triangle shape like that. So with your piece here, we're just going to make a triangular shape for the nose, like this. And then we're going to pop this on and smooth it out. So you can see I'm smoothing out the nose. We can add more onto the nose as well if we want to. So you can see there, I've added a nose and a chin. And you can add on more. So when you're finished adding on facial features such as the chin, the nose, the jaws, our ears, you have something that looks like this. So you can see here, our man has some ears, he has a nose feature here, he has a brow bone, he has cheekbones in here, and he has a chin. So once you have your clay head like this, you can start adding or taking away details. So you can add on more clay, or you can take away, so subtracting some of the clay away to give more facial features. So for this, I'm using a clay tool that looks like this, but you can use anything. You could use a knife, a wooden knife, or any sort of a tool just to take away some of the clay. So for instance, I'm going to gouge out his eyes, just there. So you can see I'm taking away some clay for his eyes, and I can move that back in then as well. So you see there, I'm moving some of the clay and I'm taking away some of the clay just to give him, my clay head, a little bit more of a nose feature. So a little bit more of a dip in the nose, like this. And then you can also add in more features such as the lips. So you can add on a piece for the lips here, and then use a clay tool like this. Or you can use a toothpick as well, just to even out some of those features. If you want to add some hair, you can do different types of hair. So you could use a spoolie to make kind of a texture on the top of the clay to look like hair, or you can add on actual hair. So to add on hair onto our clay figure here, what we're going to do is use slip and the cross-hatching method. So slip is a little mixture of clay and water put together. So you get a little bowl of water to make your slip and put a little bit of clay in. So ideally you'd like to have some dry clay to make your slip, it's better. But if you don't have any dry clay, that's fine. Just use normal wet clay, it'll be absolutely fine. And then with a wooden knife or fork or something, just mix that all in together to make some slip. And this basically acts as a glue to glue two pieces of clay together. So with the slip, I mentioned we're using the cross-hatching method. So the cross-hatching method is where you get your knife or any type of sharp tool. A toothpick would do the same. And we're going to make lines like this. And on the back of his head. So you do this anywhere you want to put hair. See this cross-hatching method? So what we're doing is making some hair. So I'm going to roll out a piece like this. And what we do then is do the cross-hatching method on this piece of hair as well. We get some of our slip on our knife and we put that slip on top of our cross-hatching here. So anywhere that we've done the cross-hatching, and then we can attach our hair. So I'm going to give him some coils. My clay had some coils. So you see that's attached just like that. And then you can go in and add more texture to this hair. So you can add in little hair strands like this, or you can get a spoolie like this and kind of make hair on it. So once you've added on features and taken away some, you'll have something that looks like this. So this is a finished clay head. And this one was left a little bit more textured, and I'll show you one now that's smoothed out. So you can work on them and smooth them out as well. So this one is a lot smoother, and you can see there how I use the slip and coil method to attach all of her hair. So you can see her just there. So with air drying clay, it needs a couple of days to dry. So if you want to keep it wet, spray some water on it and put a plastic bag over it and just tie that down. And it'll keep it wet for a couple of days. And to let it dry, just put it in a cool room and let it dry for a couple of days up to a week.